now that you're no longer? Are you happier being a non? I was.
So, are you happier now that you're out of the rock scene?
Oh, that's kind of a weird question. Yeah. I mean, without a doubt. It's just fucking stupid. Like, I've got a, more, well, I shouldn't say 9 to 5, but it's, well, I work a little bit more than that, but it's kind of like I've got me basically a 9 to 5 job. And I make way more money doing that than I ever would have in a band. Like, I would have had to make it so big, it'd just be pointless, I'd say I'm definitely happier that that's the choice I made, but you know what? I still dream about doing it. Well, I mean, how long have you known me? What, 15 years now?
Close.
So I'm like, I still keep up with these guys, the people I used to play with like 10, 15 years ago. I still keep up with them. I still am interested in what they're doing, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like I'm still excited for them, and we still talk, and actually, we do play stuff, like, we do, well, it's different now. I don't really play in the bands with them. I don't really do any of that, I kind of just use them as like my guinea pigs, kind of live through them. They're like the people that kind of know what's going down in the scene, but the thing that's weird is they're my age, Like, so I don't really play in the rock scene, but, I'll help them with the recording music, I'll play on stuff with them, but it's just like, to me it's for fun, but for them it's like legit. It's a completely different thing.
How old are you?
I'm pushing 30 now. Pushing 30. I'm not there yet. Got another year or so, but so you got these guys in their late 20s, a lot of these guys I came up with. And it's funny how like what you think it's really cool when you're a teenager, and then how that translates 10 years later. Man, when I was 19, I was so cool. Oh man, was I cool. Now, the guys that are doing the same things that I was doing when I was 19, now that they're 29, boy, I tell you, that's kind of a tough sell to tell me that is cool, Like, I love these guys, Like, I've got family that are still in the game. They're probably doing a little better than I ever would have, but, they're in the game doing it, and I gotta say, like I said, it's a hard sell to tell me that they're cool people. I mean, don't get me wrong, on stage, they're badass. They are cool. But I'm just sitting there, you guys got another 10 to 5 years, and 5-10 years max, and it's not going to be so cool anymore seeing you guys up on stage. And outside of, and off the stage, out of the scene, I really don't think they're very cool. I mean, I personally enjoy hanging out with them and working with them and talking with them, but, I'm just saying, like, your idea of what you think is cool changes. Maybe a 16-year-old with no life lessons or, no real world experience will think that that's cool. I sure don't think it's cool. What do I think's cool now? Oh gosh, I got 2 paid off cars. Woo, that is cool. I ain't got a car note. That is bad ass. And I'm sure there's some like 14, 15-year-old thinks that I'm so lame and corny. I'm not cool. But the truth is that, like, that's your audience when you're in these groups. That is your audience. And once again, you have to have fans to make it, but I don't think most rock groups really appreciate their fans, and I personally, I don't blame them. I mean, there was one time, one time down on West Alabama. One time down on West Alabama. Oh man, playing this rock show, young 20s. This was back when I was playing the hard rock thing. Oh, good grief. So you got this guy coming up and he just wants to talk to you after the show. And I just want to drink and party. I kind of don't care anymore. You know, I'm done. I kind of don't want to be that guy anymore, but you know what? You have no choice. Because he's up here and he's talking to you like, man, you know, you guys, I just see you up on stage and it really speaks to me. You know, I got a lot of things going on in my life and you guys are just like, just metal. You know, I just need this metal. Like, for real? And that's cool, man. I guess that's cool that, hey, you know, you really touch somebody. But at the end of the day, this guy's a moron. Like, I don't respect you. You know what I mean? I don't respect you. These guys, they don't respect their fans. They appreciate them, but they don't respect them. You expect me to buy your album? Hell no, I ain't gonna buy your album. Why would I buy your album anyways? It sounds like crap to begin with. There's a whole other thing. You ever notice how... What would you say is the best album you've listened to in the past year? Like, you hear it, you listen... Or I shouldn't even say album, because nobody listens to albums anymore, me neither. What do you think is... When you hear a song on the radio, can you think of any song or artist in particular that you say, wow, the way they sound, their studio sound, their presentation, it's really cool. Can't think of one? You laugh, but I know exactly who you're talking. I know exactly one that you love, and I know it.
The Lumineers or the Mumford & Sons?
No, but that's fine. You know, that you listen to them because I do, you know. We both appreciate them mutually, but it's like...
Oh, well, who are you talking about?
You're probably more of like an Adele fan, right? You like
Adele?
Adele?
I dig Adele, yes, you're right.
You dig Adele. I gotta say, you know, she can sing. You know, what I love about her is, you know, don't get me wrong, she's a pretty woman, but she's not like running around in bikinis and stuff like that. The bottom line is she's very talented. Everyone wants to sound like her. And her studio sound is just like next level, you know? It's so impressive. Like, that's all the top guys, top gear, top artists. And that's the kind of thing that people will pay for, you know? If you're just like a phenomenal singer, you've got phenomenal songs that have been phenomenally written by awesome writers. Like, I think, speaking of, like, what was it, the guy from, like, One Republic? You know what I mean?
He's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, not really my thing.
He writes for Adele, I think.
Yeah, that's just it. He helped write for Adele. I forget, I was watching probably Guitar Center on TV. But, like, you know, like, what was it, that song, Rumor Has It, I Always Hear You. I'll be honest, that song gets on my nerves after a while, but it's good, you know.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
It's not one of my favorite, though.
Yeah, but the point is, she's a top artist with a top, you know, got top writers, and using top gear with top professional industry standards. And you know what? She's sold millions of records, and thank God somebody can. You know, because if she can't, hell, who can? You know? I ain't never going to sell 1 million records. I don't have her kind of talent vocally. Never will. I don't have her kind of... I don't have the talent as a performer that she does. Most people don't. In fact, very few ever will. But at the same time, somebody recognized her as a talent. Right? She's only one part of that puzzle. The rest of us are trying to be every part of that puzzle. Does that make any sense?
Kind of.
Well, like, okay. Like, there's like the way I still, you know, I make music is, you know, I know, there is no point in me spending $200 an hour at a top-level studio, and there's probably these top-level studio guys laughing, I charge $500 an hour. But nah, it seems like, you know, about $100 to $200 an hour is what it seems like you'd pay for some of the top-level studios. I know one of them I know here that's local, somehow it's top level, and it's got like, you know, $500,000 mixing board. I mean, it costs more than my house does. Hell, I could buy several. I could pawn that thing and if somebody would, if I were to sell that SSL, I could have a very nice house. The point is, this guy's got like a $500,000 mixing console plus, Lord knows however much, and he charges $100 an hour. You know, and I'm just thinking that's top level. Top level, but to me it's not worth it because it's not going to matter for what I'm doing. For what I'm doing, nobody cares that it was recorded in a $100 an hour studio or that it's got that top level sound, you know? But that's what people pay for, because at the end of the day, I'm not that top-notch performer. You know, there's no point in me going to that studio. So it's kind of like everyone who's not Adele, or who's not the best singer, or who doesn't have the total package as a one-person performer, they've got to be a little bit more innovative, because they got to wear a lot more hats, you know? I'm not 6'3", I don't have the perfect build, you know?
So what do you have?
That's a good question. What I have is a whole lot of hats in my closet. You know, I'm not like the greatest singer, I'm not the greatest songwriter, I'm not the greatest guitar player, I'm not the greatest bass player, not the best drummer, I'm not the best recording engineer, I'm not the best mastering engineer.
Wait, you're not answering the question.
Yeah, I am, in a roundabout way. I'm not
Right.
not the greatest
I want
at
you to
anything.
answer it very direct.
Well, what was your question?
What are you good at?
I'm good at wearing a lot of different hats.
So what are those hats?
I can play and sing well enough to where it's like, it doesn't, you know, it's like, okay, it's in the ballpark. I can play the drums well enough to where it's in the ballpark, bass well enough to where it's in the ballpark. I can even record stuff well enough to where it's in the ballpark of being pro, but it's not pro, and I know it. There's no point in trying, because the stuff that's quote-unquote pro, that's the stuff that's really selling, I am never going to, I don't even want to try to afford to buy that stuff. You know, I'm glad that there's people out there doing it, you know, that making awesome sounding records like Adele, which, by the way, if you've never bought the CD, which I know you have, that's a CD to buy. Even if you don't like the music, just the sonic quality is so awesome. You know what I have? I have a fire pod. And that thing is so badass. Ooh, I can record 8 instruments at once. Do you remember some of the first recordings I made back as a young teenager?
I do. I thought they were good at the time, but you know, now they probably
No, they're terrible.
So
I had a little
fantastic.
4-channel tape cassette. Oh, it sounded like crap.
Hey, you missed the mark though. You never said what I think you're good at.
It's kind of a hard thing to say in front of people. I think
What do you mean people? You're talking to me.
Well, yeah, but you're a people, you're a person. I think the thing that's hard about it to really answer is because, like, what I think doesn't really matter. It's about what those listening think.
But it doesn't. I'm asking you what you think. What do you think you are good at? At what do you think you are good? I'm going to use correct grammar over
I
here.
think, oh, that's good. Tell you're a teacher. Yeah, by the way, it's okay to be cool and be a teacher. I'm talking to a cool teacher. In all fairness, she quit. I don't blame you. Those kids are hooligans. I feel bad for the future. No, I think what I'm good at is connecting with my audience, whoever that is. I'm not saying my song's the best ever written. I'm not saying I'm the best performer, but for whatever reason, they catch a wavelength that resonates in people's soul. If it isn't as ridiculous as that probably is for someone to say about themselves and their own music, I think that's the difference. And, you know, maybe in another lifetime, in another decade, you know, with a different heart and different set of circumstances, I probably would have been that person. But I'm not. I chose the easy way out. I chose the path straight and narrow, and it works for me, but
Straight and narrow is the easy way out.
for some people. The funny thing is, it's like, I guess it just depends on what you write about, you know, what motivates you in your life. Gosh, you know, now that I've kind of been out of the scene for a good 10 plus years, it's I don't have that same anger and aggression because I've got it good, you know. Like I said, my car is paid for. I don't have a car note. I've got a nice place to live. You know, I can actually afford to buy a prosumer level studio.
I think you write better songs whenever you're not sure if you're going to make it to your rehearsals, or whenever you come home from after your 9-to-5 job with your paid-for car and your nice home.
Oh, I tell you what, I do not write better songs after work. Oh no, I need time off. I'm so fucking pissed off after I come home from work.
Well, what's different about that? Pissed off?
It's different.
That's an anger and aggression.
Yeah, but it's an anger and aggression I do to myself for a consideration of money.
You like money?
No, but I like what it buys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like money, but you know what? I like this. I like this beer I'm drinking, and it's not cheap. It's not like expensive, but I mean, there's a lot cheaper beer out there for sure, and it tastes bad. But I like this one. You know, if I didn't have the money to buy this beer, I wouldn't buy it because it's too expensive. But to me, it's really not that big of a deal. What's $16 for 12 beers, you know? But I like being comfortable. What do you mean, do I like money? Everyone likes money.
I like money.
Don't you like money? Don't we all like money?
Well, I like being able to have food in a house, a car.
Yeah.
Right now, in particular, food.
Well, yeah.
At this very moment is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but at this very moment, now, see, you go back into the day when it's, you know, you were hungry. You were always hungry, you know? And I used to always be kind of hungry, and it just kind of phase it out to the point where, like, you don't even realize you're hungry. It's not that you can't pick up, heck, it's not that you don't have a few bucks, you know, in your pocket so that you can't eat. You know, hell, we can all buy $1 hamburger. Come on now. If you're that poor, somebody will give you $1 so you can go buy a hot and nasty at the local McDougal's or Burgerplex or wherever you frequent. But you just kind of get used to it and you stop. You know, you just kind of get used to it and it starts to build. Like you see people with stuff, right? And you realize they don't appreciate it. You don't really appreciate what you have until you don't have it anymore. And you also don't realize how insignificant the stuff you have is unless you've ever been in a position where you've never had it, you know. There's been days where, like, all I owned was the guitar on my back, a few clothes, and you know, a cheap room I shared in an apartment with you know, quite a few other people. It's just different now. It's just different. Like, I don't have that to write about. That's why I don't really like heavy rock music anymore. It's just not my. I'm not there yet. I feel like a fraud. Yeah, metal. No, it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. You know what I mean? Like, what do I have to be so mad about? You ever wonder about that? Why is it that these people are yelling into the microphone? What are they so mad about?